I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the February Town Council meeting. We'll start off with roll call. Jason Little.
Here.
Patricia Ball.
Here.
Kevin Burke.
Here.
Michael Chahanas.
Here.
Brian Moore.
Here.
Okay. I want to welcome everybody here. Does anybody have anything from the public that's not on the agenda that they would like to discuss this evening? Okay. Let there be known there was no public comments. Comments from the council. The only thing I have.
Kevin, you forgot your minutes.
Skip the approval of minutes.
Oh,
And we have minutes from January 12th, 2026, a regular meeting, and for the special meeting of February 2nd, 2026.
I make a motion to approve the January 12th minutes.
Second.
have a first from Trish and a second from Jason to approve the January minutes as written. Any comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let be known, it passes 5-0. Do we have any from the special meeting?
Yeah, they're right there.
Is that on February 2nd? Okay. Okay. We could have a recommendation on the February 2nd special meeting.
Make a motion to approve the special meeting for February 2nd, 2026. Second.
Have a first from Jason, a second from Mike, to approve the minutes on February 2nd, our special meeting. Any comments about it? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let it be known, it passes 5-0. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the comments from the council, okay, since there was none from the public. The only thing I have, I wanna thank all the departments and their employees for helping during the snow event that we had back in the last week of January. Appreciate all the help, and anything else anybody else wanna add? Okay.
Once again, the roads were amazing, as quick as they could be.
Do a good job keeping it clean.
Okay, we're gonna move on to reports. We got the fire department.
You got my monthly report for the month of January. We had 11 first responder runs. We got called to Jackson Township for a structure fire, and we got called to Carter for a field fire. Help on those runs. So we had a total of 13 runs, and then I forgot, I didn't put that on there last Wednesday night. 5 of us went to Huntingburg, to the event center, to the pipeline. Everybody knows we've got 2 big pipelines running through. TransCanada Energy, well, we meet every year. We go there, they feed us, they give us a 2-hour program and all about pipeline safety. So 5 of us went out there last week and did that, so, yep, that's all I have. And
Does that count as your continuing
we get
education?
EMS hours for that too,
Okay.
so, yeah, we get 2 hours of in-service. Police, fire, I mean, there's, I think Russ and them, I don't know if you guys during the day, if you guys get to go, or,
Yeah, I think there's another one coming up.
yeah. Yeah, they do morning ones for everybody, and they do evening ones. So. Then all the rest we got, Mike and them are here to talk about the heat.
Okay, well, we're gonna ask some questions. Did you send out a spec sheet to everybody?
Not yet, I was waiting. I did send to Mike, and 4 of them do have spec sheets. And Russ,
Okay, so who did you send the spec sheets to?
Holzman, RG, Goodall, Allstock, Huffman, and Sam Hasty. I think it's Jim's Plumbing and
Okay, so the ones that we had the other week,
last week.
okay, last week, have they been revised to your spec sheet?
They were right on.
They're right on.
They were right on, okay. So now we're waiting on 3 more,
2.
okay, because you sent those out for quotes on Friday,
Friday.
okay? So when are they supposed to have them submitted? Did you put a deadline on that sheet?
No, because I was waiting for tonight's meeting.
Okay.
Because
so-
they're gonna need to turn their W-9s in, their liability certificates, all that required, you know, that they don't hire foreign employees, whatever goes in that packet.
The problem I'm seeing is I don't want any more numbers out there.
That's fine, we won't. I've got the
Until-
list of the 5 that I turned in is what I'm gonna give Jane.
Now, the bad thing about that is, since we have a public meeting, we discussed those numbers at the last meeting. And I'm concerned about that now, since you went out for additional quotes. You guys want to
Okay.
chime in?
Yeah, I just have a couple of questions to make sure that we're doing this correctly and not. One is, the thing should have been bid in the beginning, everybody the same specs, and not, send them to them and send them to somebody else.
Everybody's got the same one.
They do now.
They do now.
They had from the begin with.
They didn't quote on the same things.
Well, they all quoted the same boiler. Everybody's quoting their own.
Okay.
One sells York, one sells Colt. I mean, everybody's got different.
Okay, but we didn't get sealed bids due on a specific date.
Right.
Right? And that's what the council, I believe, was asking for the last time that we met, was for you to go back, develop some specs, send the specs out to the 4 or 5, or whoever you wanted, and then we have to put a deadline on it.
Right, that's what I'm waiting for is the deadline. I've
Right.
got everything done.
Okay.
Now, I thought, the way we talked last week, the deadline was gonna be tonight.
Nobody said that.
It doesn't say anything in the minutes about that,
There's nothing in the minutes about a deadline.
but I wasn't here.
And I even talked to Mike Thursday. I called Mike Thursday. I couldn't get a hold of Mike and I talked Thursday afternoon.
Yeah. So I think if that's all we need, is we need to set a deadline.
And that's exactly what Mike told me Thursday. He said, set a deadline.
Okay, what did you set a deadline for?
I was waiting on you guys.
He wants our opinion about the deadline.
I want you to make the deadline. If we want to go to the next town board meeting, or do you want to call a special town board meeting?
You know, because we've been playing around with this for over 2 weeks now.
So, and our temperatures, if they bottom out again, are they gonna affect the current situation?
Mike and them can,
Okay, so then, if that's not going to affect it, which we'll find out in a minute, then our deadline could be the next March meeting. The issue is keeping the firehouse warm and safe,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So it's not a big deal that it's been 2 weeks, as long as we can maintain a safe environment in that firehouse.
right.
So maybe we need to hear it from Goodorf's.
Okay, I mean, anybody can make comments on the floor, that's fine. I mean, you guys we can do that, but the thing that we have to have, specs go out to everybody, and there has a deadline to get them back.
That's all I'm
Sealed
waiting
bid.
for is the deadline to put on the
Okay.
cover letter.
Okay, so,
So,
And
so
then-
did you send out that cover letter without a deadline?
No, all they have is the specs.
Okay, so you sent the specs out to them
For quotes.
for quotes, the same specs?
No, for bid.
A bid and a quote to me is basically the same thing. They're putting their numbers out there. A bid could be sealed or it could be open, correct, Kevin?
right.
Yes. It's
So
not a
What
bid,
we were
it's not a
asking
bid,
for
it's a
was
quote.
sealed bid.
Yeah, you're not required to do bids, because the amount of the project's not, you do quotes, which your procedure is that they do exactly what you said, a sealed quote
Sealed
by a certain
quotes.
date that goes to the clerk treasurer.
Yeah.
I sent it to Russ, like you all said, have Russ look at it. Russ made suggestions and I went by his suggestions and,
Sent it out.
yep.
Okay, so all the people, including the ones that we received a week ago that we had looked at, they all have the same information?
Spec, yes.
Okay,
They all had the same spec. I'm just waiting to send them the cover letter and then we need their liability, the W-9s, anything that the state, you know, what we require to go in with the,
okay.
I was under the impression when we left here at that last meeting that this was an emergency need. There was some emails that flew back and forth with some discussion, and I thought we all had agreed that Goodorf had been fighting this battle since
Yeah,
the original issue, and they knew more about the system. Theirs kind of matched kind of what everybody else's did, so we was gonna go on and follow suit with them. And now we come in here tonight, I never knew anything about the quotes being, or specs being sent out, cover letters being dated, I never knew anything about any of this stuff. So, there's 2 pages here, and I think we all need to get on one.
yeah.
And like I said, when I left here on that February 2nd meeting, I thought that was the path we was taking.
well, the way Kevin said, we had to have sealed.
Well, the proper procedure
Yeah,
is
the
you
proper
develop,
procedure
you
is-
develop specs. You should have had Goodorf or somebody come in and say, here's what you need to do. Don't give us a price, just tell us what we need to do, take those specs, send it out to everybody, and have them all come back with a quote.
Start at the February
Instead, like, I mean, there were even the Holzman guy came in with a different recommendation. I mean, that you basically said, tell us what we need to do to fix this, and
Right
they
here.
all came up with different
That's what we're
things.
saying.
So at the February
That's not-
meeting, the issue is that the 2 quotes he had in hand, he was expecting a third one the following morning, but the 2 he had in hand were for 2 different situations. And you guys wanted everyone to quote the same situation.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just says, Attorney Kevin Patmore stated that the council should hold off discussing until the next meeting. If they were going to entertain the third estimate, that was the one we were talking about. The council reviewed the estimate presented and requested that Meyer write up specifications and advertise for bids since the 2 estimates were for completely different approaches and could not be treated as equal.
And that's exactly what I did.
That's in the minutes.
Okay. So, let's set a deadline. Do we want to have a special meeting, or you want to take the chance putting it off till March?
Should we have Goodorf speak about the issue?
You can, but I would suggest to them that they don't disclose any numbers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
even though we have numbers from other people, including them this afternoon now.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Kevin, do we want to do a special meeting in 2 weeks? Give everybody 2 weeks, or we want to wait till the March meeting? I'm either way, I don't care.
Me neither.
If I could say something.
Why don't you come up to the
I
microphone?
think- Okay. I'm not trying to get involved too deeply, but I would not put it off till a monthly meeting. I would get a meeting scheduled in a couple of weeks, 10 days, 2 weeks. That second unit over there that's running, has run itself to death. And if it quits, there is absolutely no heat in the building. So we get another cold snap. You know, I've personally been coming down every other day through the whole thing since November, when this all started. This all started November 24th, was our first service call on the old unit when the compressor quit. I've personally been coming down to that, especially after it got cold, every couple of days, poking my head in the building just to make sure it's not freezing up. But the little unit that's running in there is going to run itself to death if you let it just keep pushing, kicking the can down the road here, so.
And we're on the emergency heat strip in that,
We're on
right?
the emergency heat strips in the office, but the small of the two Geo units is heating all the radiant in the apparatus and the small truck phase.
So based on that, Jane, what is the soonest we can have a meeting in order to ensure the safety of our firehouse?
Well, as soon as you can have a meeting, is I have to give the media 48-hour notice and the public. I have to have it posted on the building, and then I also have to notify media 48 hours in advance.
Okay.
And we have to give the people that are gonna,
Right, time to get the quotes back.
to quote on the packet.
So, but that,
And the package is very straightforward. It's nothing extravagant or anything like that, so.
so it shouldn't
So
take
it
long.
shouldn't take long for any contractor to
Okay.
put something together there.
Now, can I ask, we're doing away with geothermal, right?
Yes, so the original proposal that I had sent was just to get rid of the one Geo unit, leave the other one for the forced air, and then that's when you guys sent the specs back last week, to totally get away from Geo, go to a conventional forced air system in the office, and then gas-fired boiler for all the radiant and the domestic hot water in the building. Yep.
So Max, if you give a date of like next Tuesday, the 17th, you think all of these estimates can be in by then?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to go. I got everything typed up. All I gotta do is put that date on there.
Because I think that's our concern, is the safety
stayed up
and
2 nights working on
status
it.
of that firehouse.
And that's why, we've been making a trip past every couple of days just to check temperature. And I'll be honest, the building has done very impressive through that 0 degree. The lowest I saw, and there was 50 or 51 degrees in the apparatus phase, which is impressive for only having 48,000 BTU of heat going into all that building, so.
I do appreciate your help on this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I personally put it in when the station got built, whatever, 15, 17 years ago, whenever. So I've been involved in all the headaches when it started. There was a lot of problems with the system when it all started. And there was nothing of an install failure. It was just mostly equipment. The equipment, we were trying to do things with the equipment on the design side that it wasn't necessarily intended to do. But we got past all that, and so happy to help.
But,
That's the information I wanted, thank you.
but you were never completely satisfied with that system?
No, so I'll go back kind of to the beginning. It's the geothermal systems in there is an abnormal geothermal system. Most geothermal systems have a liquid, whether it be antifreeze or water or glycol solution in the ground. This is called the DX, a direct exchange geothermal system. So the refrigerant actually goes out into the ground and not liquid. And there's two different from the specs that we were given on the original design of the building. There's an Earthlink geothermal compressor unit with the module that makes the hot water to heat the radiant heat by a third party, that when it wasn't working in the beginning, it became a big, back and forth match. One manufacturer said it was the other manufacturer, and the other manufacturer said it was the vice versa, which left us and the town fire department holding the bag. So I spent hours upon hours upon hours limping the thing along for the first 3 years of its life. Earthlink geothermal sold out. They went out of business. They sold out to a different company. That different company hired the tech advisor from Earthlink, and when I called him after he started his new job at the new business, he said, okay, now I can finally tell you to do what I've been wanting to tell you all along, is get the R20 or get the R407 refrigerant out of there, put R22 in it, and it'll work just fine. And that's what we did, and it's worked fairly problem-free for the last 7, 8 years now, 9 years. And it was all a big back-and-forth battle between manufacturers, and we were left holding the bag for most of it, So, but once we changed the refrigerant out, it worked fine. Then in December, we found a compressor had gone bad in the bigger of the two units. There's a 4-ton and a 6-ton unit in there. We had found the compressor had gone bad in the 6-ton unit, ordered the compressor in. By the time the compressor came in, the field bed, the loop field out underground, had developed a leak and lost 30 pounds of refrigerant underground. So when that happens, the system's condemned and it's done. So that's what brings us to where we are today. Because when that happened, there was no fixing that any longer. It had to go, so.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Okay, so
Thank you.
But,
are you
Yeah.
recommending the 17th?
17th or 19th, that'd be a Tuesday or a Thursday.
What's best?
Maybe we could do the
It doesn't
16th,
matter.
but it's President's Day, so I don't suggest the 16th.
All right. The 17th is fine with me.
I could do the 18th also, if that works better for you. Does the 18th work for anybody?
okay,
Any one of those, the 3 days is
Brian,
fine
you
with
okay
me.
with the 18th?
Yeah.
you wanna have it at 5 then?
Yeah.
5
You guys?
o'clock, okay? 18th, okay?
18.
So he's gotta have his bids.
18th, so get that to
So
those
the
guys
bids need to be
tomorrow.
here by the 17th.
Yeah, making sure, yeah, by the 17th.
Sealed bids into
By the
Quotes.
clerk's office.
Quote, by the 17th, 18th.
By the 17th, our meeting's gonna be the 18th.
No, you should leave it open until the 18th.
Okay, so still bids till the 18th.
Yeah, till the time of the meeting, normally.
Okay, good, okay, thank you. All right, 18th, 5 PM. Mr. Rudolph, thank you for sharing the safety information.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna have a meeting at 5 o'clock on the 18th, correct? Okay. Max, you have anything else?
No, well, she has something.
Send us, the council, a list, who you're sending those
Yes.
information out.
Jane will have everything,
Okay,
she gets a copy.
so we know who we're expecting for the meeting.
Thank you for jumping the hoops, Max. All right,
Okay,
Mr. PNR.
Good evening. You have my monthly report. Nothing major to report. Brian Pund and I have been working on a fob reader for the double doors at the community center, and that's pretty well complete. Just need a few minor software updates that will actually benefit both doors, both sets of doors. And I'll actually be able to remotely control the doors as well, which would be nice. I know sometimes there are issues, like especially with voting, getting the front doors unlocked, so that's kind of our hope with this process is minimizing the need to hand out keys, especially for short-term rentals. We can just kind of set the calendar, and then if people have issues, they can give us a call. So we're pretty pleased with that. I am in the process of replacing our AED units at both the park and the community center. We currently have AED plus units, which I believe are probably 10 to 15 years old. And we've run into issues where the pads basically, I think, are not being manufactured anymore. So they're either on back order or you can't find them. So we're gonna replace all 4 AEDs with an AED 3. And the nice thing about these new units is they have universal pads. They don't have the pediatric pads and the adult pads, so that should hopefully minimize any potential for user error.
Good.
So that's a good thing as well. The other two things I have, so, and actually, this previous conversation is a good jumping off point. So I am interested in getting a Skag Turf Tiger 2. And we do have a QPA through Sourcewell. And basically in conversations that I've had with our local Skag dealer, that basically it's a policy amongst Skag dealers that they can't come in and undercut each other. That QPA price is the lowest possible price. However you would prefer me to do it, I can go out and get 3 quotes from local Skag dealers, but this is the machine we want. It has liquid-cooled engine, a little heavier duty components than the mowers we currently have, and the quotes that I've seen, very reasonable price. We're going on 10 years on both of those mowers, and we've made repairs to them. I am going to keep them both in service. One of them will get put on light duty up here in town doing more of that stuff, and the new machine will be strictly at the park for the ball fields. So I don't know if you'd prefer me to, I mean, we've got the Sourcewell information. I can send you the pricing information, or I can go out and get 3 quotes, but they should be the same regardless of which SCAG dealer you choose.
So you have something from the company stating that they don't allow bidding?
I mean, I don't know that I could get something official from SCAG specifically, but it's a QPA, so like SCAG dealers shouldn't undercut each other. Same like if Russ were to buy something from John Deere, he couldn't go out and bid it Wright and Hudson against each other and get a lower price from one or the other. But if you would prefer, I can get 3 quotes.
I mean, I think we should be consistent and send it out to 3 dealers and with a sealed bid and put a date on it, and then you guys can review them when
And then if we
When it
get
comes
them all
in.
back, then you review and decide which one you would rather work with because maybe service or whatever.
Sure, I mean, if it's my preference, I mean, obviously, we've got a good local dealer here. I mean, there's multiple local dealers. That's the one nice thing about this brand. They make a good quality machine. There's plenty of dealerships around. I don't really want to get in a situation where I'm bidding a Grasshopper against the SCAG or anything else,
Right,
because it's a lot easier to deal with one company, and if they make a good
I mean, you
machine.
can do that. You can say we want this SCAG, whatever the exact specs are, and send it out to 3 SCAG dealers and
Go from there.
go from
Okay.
there.
Do you wanna try to get those back by the 18th, so we can?
For that meeting.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be an issue. Yeah, I can do that.
That'd be park board.
Oh, that's right, sorry.
What?
I wasn't thinking.
That's fine. I mean, even then,
That's the part.
next month will be,
Oh, yeah.
next
park
month's
board
meeting will
does
be
it.
fine.
Sorry, I just had it in my mind.
Yeah, we got a meeting, let's get it done.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, it's funny, so that brings up another
Spoke
question.
Before I thought.
So, we had a special meeting on Friday, and we met with Nick Schwartz of CHA and Clint Rose of formerly Midwestern, and reviewed a preliminary redesign of the first phase of the playground master plan. So that would be the playground, potential event lawn, a concession and restroom building, 2 shaded pavilions on each end of the event lawn, and then parking improvements along the south side of Ashburn Road. So basically, architectural renderings, preliminary cost estimates, engineering, insurance, bonds, all that sort of thing. So they've got some round numbers for us. The question that we have is, do we want to set up a meeting between the council and the park board to kind of maybe come up with a game plan of how we're gonna pursue this? And if your priorities align with what ours and the master plan dictate. I don't know if that's something we call a special meeting for, or we can do an executive session. I would imagine it's gonna be a drawn-out meeting.
Has to be a public meeting.
Has to be.
Okay, and that's fine. I just wanted to see how you all wanted to proceed. So,
Yeah, is that, I mean, to have the park board and this board together, that's
Yeah, Jane just has to notice that
excellent.
both of them are having a meeting.
Yes, yep. Yeah, I think that would be good, that we can kind of get on the same, mindset.
yep, okay.
Do you have a date in mind that you're wanting to do that, or?
Not specifically. I could pull the board and see what, this time of year, most of them are pretty flexible. As long as it's not like, like a mid-morning meeting. But yeah, I could pull them. and see
I would
how-
say something around 5:30 start time.
Yeah, get some
Whether it's
dates.
the
Get some dates from your
last,
board.
some last part of February or first week or 2 in March, I don't know. What everybody else got planned.
February 23rd, 24th, or 25th would be great for me.
Those are the perfect Jason days, so make sure you get those down.
Okay, see what I can do. Okay, yeah, I'll get on that, and, if there's anything else the council needs to ask me about, any comments, concerns?
You done any more with that Dropbox, night deposit box that you were gonna have over there?
So, in talking with Rachel, she is looking at different designs, and then I would assume once she settles on a design, the plan was that they would take care of the box, purchasing the box. We could help them install it, and then if they were to ever vacate the premises, then basically, they would take the box with them, and we'd put some rockite in the anchor holes if there was any anchor holes.
Okay. Is this something that you're gonna have approval whether say yes to or nay to on what they're wanting to put up?
I mean, yeah, I would imagine.
I think it should be your decision or the town's decision which of the boxes are putting up.
Sure.
Whether it's something real huge or, you know,
Yeah, I
or
think
is
you-
it attached in my building or is it gonna be a freestanding unit, you know? what
Yeah, I
you-
mean, I had kind of envisioned a freestanding unit that we would just anchor bolt to the ground.
That's what we discussed
Yeah.
last time, that it would
Yes.
be freestanding.
But,
Yeah.
you know, I think we would give the park board the decision, you know, put something up that's gonna look decent, you know?
Sure. Yep. Yeah, I can just get with Rachel and let her know that we'll run it through a park board meeting and, I mean, is that something that would require a formal motion, I guess?
For the
It's,
park board.
it's up to the park board.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think you guys just need to discuss it.
Well, I mean, in the park board meeting, would they need a formal motion to approve it?
I would think that your group would need to prove it, yes or no,
Okay.
on the design that you're going with, so. You know, cause I might like something totally different than what you guys like, yeah. It should,
It's going on the park board property, so it needs to be.
it needs a blend in with our facility.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
Guess the trails will thaw out.
Yeah. Yeah, it may take the shady spots a few days, but, I'd say with this extended warm-up we got, unless it's a pile of snow, it'll probably be going in a week, so. It's already melting off. I know a lot of the fields down at the park are already, greening up, so.
They made a big improvement
Yeah.
alone. Okay,
All right,
appreciate
thanks,
your
Matt.
help. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Seemed like we got an extra hour of sunlight out there this evening.
I know it was a little
It was odd.
sunny, longer.
I like it. Any questions on my report? Really was a pretty slow month, but I think now we're getting ready to start seeing a little bit more building going on, so. Nothing to report with Kirstein's or Back Nine, so much the same. Just kind of waiting
Yeah.
on that, so,
Guess everybody's waiting for the weather.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, that's, all. I mean, I don't really have anything to report unless you had any questions.
I don't have anything.
All right,
Good. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
thank you.
Is somebody here from the police department?
James emailed earlier and said he would be attending tonight.
Yeah.
I just have his report, that's all.
Okay. We have any questions about the reports that James filled out for us? Please reach out to him through an email or a phone call. I haven't heard any more from him concerning his vehicles either. Has anybody else?
I didn't hear what you said, Kevin.
Has anybody heard from?
About the vehicles, the police vehicles.
Okay. Okay, I guess Russ is up.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Trust
evening.
everyone is well. If the council would bear with me, I'd like to just make a PSA with regards to what Max and Mr. Goodorf and I and Zach and James go through as far as writing specifications, as far as getting things done in the town. Obviously, our first objective is to respect and do the best with the public investment that we have in all of our town facilities, be it the community center, the fire station, police station. or the utility compound. The next thing that we try to do is also protect the ratepayers' dollar, the taxpayers' dollar as well. So those are the three main things that we look out for. When we're writing these things up, it's a very difficult thing, especially when you're dealing with what Max was just dealing with. That is a complicated little puzzle. There's a lot of moving parts. And we're relying on folks like this to give us input onto what we need. We also need to take some things to the plate as well, or to the table as well. We gotta, put in, again, what we feel is best, what is most efficient, and what is most cost effective. So whether that helps or not, I don't know. The second point I'd like to make with regards to Sourcewell, I am just now dipping my feet into that. I don't know all the machinations yet of it, but as Zach was alluding to, Sourcewell is a buying co-op. They are paid for, or they are paid by the private dealers, the John Deere's, the Skaggs folk. But it is a way of saving the town council time and the purchasing agent's time as well. So we can bypass the quote process.
We can do it too with.
So, again, I don't know all the machinations yet, I'm still delving into it. I did just get the utility department, which was also town-wide, signed up. We have an account number, et cetera. So when I go out for my mowing equipment this spring, I will be using Sourcewell, so I will bypass the quoting process.
I think they're for like churches, government entities.
Correct, any nonprofit.
503C.
Yeah.
Make sure that we're covered.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
these companies have to be a member of it also, I believe.
they have great buying power. You will not get a better price from doing the quote process. So again, maintaining as best we can with the public investment in their dollars. So I think Sourcewell, I have talked with Mr. Patmore about it. We are both finally comfortable with it. We were a little skeptical at first, but I think we've both done our due diligence and find out that and it's not just us, everyone else is doing it as well.
So do you think we should come up with a list of people that we're going to exempt from, that we're required to go out and get bids from various companies or dealers?
No, I
if
don't
you can list this
know if
company.
that's how it would work. Just like Zach said, he's had Skaggs, we've had Skaggs before in the past, and they said it'll last and it'll go as fast as you can hang on to it, and they were right. Skaggs, heck of a machine. So again, I don't want to divulge anything just yet, but yeah, I got products that I've had, tried and true, and no, so that would actually, I think, be a Kevin question. I think we're going to bypass that totally.
But I'm asking you, I'm Kevin.
You probably should change your purchasing, because what they do is Sourcewell actually goes out and gets the quotes for you.
Yeah.
Just like the state does on the state bid contracts, they do the same thing. Sourcewell's doing it, only it's not just the state of Indiana, it's nationwide, or I don't even know if it's worldwide. But they actually do the quoting process. So you would
So
probably
we
want to
could-
come up with
New wording,
types.
new.
Yeah, we'd probably want to work on your ordinance concerning the quoting process, that if they use Sourcewell, then they can bypass that, and you could set a dollar limitation on what they can do, or make it a case-by-case basis where you authorize them to use Sourcewell because they found the item on Sourcewell, because Sourcewell's not always going to have necessarily what they're wanting. In that case, you would do a quoting process.
But if you find what you want through Sourcewell and they've compared prices,
Yeah,
then
just-
that should be.
Yeah, just like the state bid, the Dodge Charger police vehicles were the only ones that's what the
Right.
state
Yeah,
bid.
so basically, instead of the town of Santa Claus doing it, either the state of Indiana doing it or Sourcewell, and they can leverage their dollars. That's
Yeah.
probably not the right way to put that. Leverage their co-op purchasing entity to help us get the best bang for our buck.
I believe the acronym is it quantity purchase agreement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, there's.
Yeah, because that's what they, like the state does that with Dodge Chargers, because they know the state police are going to want 100 new units. That's what the state budgeted for, so they go to Dodge and say, we want you to get, three Dodge dealers come in and bid for 150, up to 150 Dodge Charger police vehicle units with all the specs that the state sets out there. And then all the municipalities can also tag along, as long as it doesn't until it's maxed out, basically, the contract is. I'm not sure how Sourcewell, if they put a maximum amount that they're going to purchase, as far as like Skag mowers. But I'll work on some language to change your
Okay.
voting but
the hoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't have to jump as many.
To allow your,
hoops 'cause they'll-
yeah, to allow your department heads to utilize Sourcewell if the product that they are looking for is available. And that they believe that, yeah. I mean, it still never hurts to quote against Sourcewell even, because on some items you might be able to find a cheaper price. Because they're quoting these at the beginning of the year for one thing, and depending on inflationary pressure, stuff like that, it could be a real good deal. Or if prices go down, which they do on some equipment and things.
So you think a company like that would not be aware of those changes and quote accordingly? Would they only be able to quote beginning of the year prices?
Well, they solicit the quotes. Sourcewell solicits quotes from like Skag dealers and comes up with, here's the guy who's willing to provide up to 100 units of this specific thing to our members, people who subscribe to us. But, like during COVID, you had a lot of people during COVID couldn't get tractors. Massey Ferguson tractors, you couldn't get them. Well, so the next year, they all thought that was going to continue, so everybody ordered twice as many as they wanted. Well, then they got them, and so the next year, they were all stuck with,
Right.
one guy down in Kentucky had like 15 of them sitting on the lot, and he was getting the next year's model, so he was unloading those things as quick as he could because he had the brand-new models. So I bought one.
So, but Sourcewell then wouldn't be influenced by that change? Right?
Well, no, because they've got a quoted price. Here's what you can buy this model for. But if
Yeah.
in the meantime, something happened in the supply chain where suddenly there's a glut of them in the market, where dealers are willing to sell them cheaper, or if, you know, they do that with vehicles all the time. Whenever the new model comes out, you can go in, and that's how I bought a 2025 pickup just recently, because they had the 2026s on the lot. They had too many of them on the lot. They wanted to get rid of them, so even Nissan comes in and says, we'll give the dealer an incentive to get rid of these older models. So depending on the time of year and what the supply chain's doing, Sourcewell may not necessarily always be the best out there. That's kind of something that your department heads have to look at, though, and
But that would be a department head.
yeah, and like I said, they can quote against Sourcewell if they want, if they believe that the price might be cheaper from somewhere else, because Sourcewell has the quoted price that they were given. But in the meantime, you can get something cheaper, the same thing cheaper, it's very possible that it could.
But as long as our department heads, I mean, we trust them and they're doing their due diligence, then.
Yeah. And you could use Sourcewell as one of your quotes too, and just get 2 more quotes and come in.
Yeah.
So basically, you're saying is 2 dealers might undercut Sourcewell.
Possibly,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
I would say that would probably be the exception. I wouldn't.
That's right, I think so too. I think so too, because they've already done the quoting procedure where everybody's done the undercutting. But like I said, it depends on supply chain issues. If they've got a glut of items in the market, which happens all the time with vehicles and equipment too.
Yeah, so I mean, they send a list, they have hundreds of vendors that they deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I apologize for that little sidetrack there.
No,
One more.
the PSA was good.
One more comment on that, though. Max did a bang-up job on his specifications. Not to steal his thunder, but I've written hundreds of these things. I've spent millions of ratepayer dollars on this stuff. But I do think it would behoove the town in the long run, I think Kevin kind of alluded to, that we get a standardized specification sheet and method by which we go out for these things. I mean, I get it. There are some required language, and again, and what Max and I have to add as far as specifications, but something to consider, so.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Russ.
Russ.
So, back on track hopefully. Under trails, I have nothing to report. Like we've alluded to tonight, weather has set everything back at least 2 weeks. The unfortunate thing is we've gone through the freeze snow cycle. Now we have to go through the thaw, and that's not gonna be any more neat than what we've seen already, so. Yeah, it's nasty already. Scott and I were just briefly talking about it before the meeting, so, yeah, it's gonna be ugly for a while. So, with that said, the Next Level Trail project is still on track. The contractors have been in communication with me and the school corporation. They are doing some of their peremptory stuff, getting their GIS, et cetera, set up. So we're ready to move forward as soon as the weather allows. That's all I have under trails, unless the council has any questions for me.
No.
Street Department, I don't want to overstate the obvious, but I appreciate the kind words from the council, and I will make sure that I pass that along. In fact, one of the snow fighters is here tonight in the audience, so they got well acquainted with vinyl seat covering, steering wheels, and stuff. Just for everyone's information, we do about 40 lane miles of road. That's what we have to keep snow, et cetera, off of, and that's what we maintain. So I had guys going into first week of February, that pay period was 16 to 20 hours, starting out on Monday. They did a heck of a job. They were out and they stuck with it, and that's what it takes. So there'll be some other questions maybe from the council, because Street Department is also added in my monthly report. That is all I have on the streets. The industrial park is in between. I don't know if we want to entertain that now or wait.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you might as well.
I'm sorry?
You should.
Should. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I will defer to someone else.
Well, it's up for your decision on whether you proceed with the proposals that were presented, which you only have one outstanding, from Dylan Warren, AKA Warren Development. The question was whether you are actually going to sell the property for the $31,000 or reject all bids and hold the property for the potential bike trail or other future needs.
Wasn't there a zoning question that was?
No, you've already approved that that you would rezone it commercial, not residential,
Okay.
if you sold it. Because both of the bidders actually asked for rezoning
Right.
from industrial.
We've sold other land down there
Yes,
that has been rezoned.
commercial. Yeah, that's the
Is
reason
that land contiguous to that, the
Yeah.
some of the land?
it is.
Okay. So really, one thing is the price.
Well,
And has that been in line with what we've sold other pieces of property down there?
yeah,
I think we needed clarity on what terminology we used when this all came up.
the December 31st date came,
Yes, please.
that was to allow, basically the way that it was sold is you could allow bidders, whenever they bid, to up their bid. That December 31st date was the drop dead date on which the town reserved the right to negotiate with anybody that put in a proposal. And that's why I told you at the very first, when we got two quotes, I said, you can actually go back to the other quoter and ask if they wanted to increase their bid. And they said yes, but then you said, well, we're not gonna deal with that. It's either sell to the lowest or to the highest bidder from the onset. But that December 31st date was the date on which we put in the notice that you had the right to keep negotiating with buyers, potential buyers.
So it wasn't a final decision date, it was just the.
It was the date on which you could continue to negotiate for a higher price with anybody who
Okay.
I
quoted
did
the price.
Did
include
anybody
Yes.
show?
that,
No,
I did
because
include the notice
the other
in your
buyer, after you all
packets.
decided
Okay, thank you.
that you weren't gonna entertain higher, he was willing to pay much more for this ground. But when you said we're not going to allow people to increase their bids, even though the statute allows it, and you put it in your notice that you can do it, then he's moved on and bought other ground.
So this
Yes.
is a copy of the information that was posted, so I would like to read it to myself, if you don't mind.
so we put this notice out. Did this current bidder meet all the requirements of this?
Yes.
Yes.
And it basically said on June 9th that we may determine to sell the property.
Right, and we may
Yeah.
reject. So it wasn't that a final decision was going to be made, but we probably need to make a decision. Instead of leaving people hanging.
I think what complicated the situation is we have an opportunity to attract a trail, a bike trail in that facility. And to make it work, this property would be ideal for parking and possibly a junior type bike trail or,
Yeah, pump track, yeah, basically that's the concept.
yeah. That would allow the more advanced people to go to the land that we currently own. It's not this piece of land.
Correct.
So do you guys have any other discussion about it, or do we want to entertain a vote, or?
I have one comment. Whatever land that we provide to the bike trail is not gonna take this property and put it back on the tax rolls. Here we have an opportunity to put this property back on the tax rolls. So which benefits the town of Santa Claus, the people in the town better, putting this back on the tax rolls or providing land free to the bike path?
We should sell Yellow Park then.
Huh?
We should sell Yellow Park too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the recreational part.
That was already deeded that way to us.
Well, you can sell
So,
it. You can sell it.
so then if this land was sold, would the purchaser need to go to another committee to approve what was going to be put on it?
Not unless they're
Not if you
subdividing it,
sell it.
no. As long as it met all the zoning requirements of the commercial.
That's what I meant.
They have to go through the ABC, they have to get it rezoned
That's
to
what I
commercial,
meant.
but you've
That's
already,
what I meant.
yeah, you're agreeing as part of his offer was to have it rezoned commercial,
Right,
which that's ultimately your decision. It goes to APC for a public hearing on this rezoning, but you've already committed, if you sell it, you will rezone it commercial. So then, as long as it met all the requirements of commercial zoning, then you're fine.
this is the only thing that comes to my mind, okay? We have a very strong recreational area. And I know many efforts have been made to have other areas of the town, independent recreational areas. And because our town is so blocked in selling land right now, we won't have any other recreational opportunities, okay? But we also are not giving our business owners any land to purchase as well. And I'm not talking about the town, I'm talking about owners of property within this town are blocking things from being sold right now. I truly feel that way. And it's very frustrating to me. So what we're doing is we're either blocking any opportunities for people, the million people who visit this town to have more recreation, or we're blocking people from starting businesses here, regardless of the tax benefits. So how do we as a town determine that that land, what that land's good for? I'm very frustrated about the land in this town. I've mentioned this many times. I wish somebody would sell some land. So, I don't know, we've only got so much land in this industrial park that is useful for a business. So does the rest of the land, if we sell this for a business, does the rest of the land just go to waste? Because what can be developed there? Nothing, except something recreational, but the recreational needs more land. I'm in a complete quandary about this. And I think it has everything to do with the fact that you're talking about one little section of land that's available for anything. So I'm in a quandary, I'll just say that.
So let me get this right. Is somebody saying that this piece of land is the only place there is down there for them to park and?
No, it's the only place that's for sale.
Well,
Right.
if you built anything, like if you sold this 6 acres off, you'd have to build the road, which the road, I think, Russ, what, quarter $250,000 at least, minimum?
Oh, yeah.
Because you'd have to build a road then to get back to the 50 acres for anybody to use it. So you're basically, or they'd have to go down the county road south of there to get to it.
I mean, Kevin, how would that even work? Like, could we even build an access road to the utility easement?
No, it would be the original plan for the industrial park, where the curve is, actually has a street going back to this 50 acres and then cul-de-sacing, but it wasn't ever built.
Yes.
I've got the original plan for the industrial park that actually had Ruby Winkler, that curve being a T, and then going back there and cul-de-sacing. But you'd have to extend that clear back to the Hanning driveway, basically.
At least.
So you're talking, I mean, Russ looked at it and said, minimum $250,000 to build the road. So you would basically be removing that 50 acres from ever getting used for anything.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
other part. That's not the part we're.
For $30,000, you'd have to build a $250,000 road to ever have any potential use of the other property.
Yeah.
Versus here, they could use, I don't know.
And that's the quandary.
Okay, but if the bike trail, you takes that property to put parking and stuff on, are you not also blocking that same way?
Well, they're gonna use all of it though, for the bike trail. They're using the back part also for the bike trail. There's,
You won't have to run a road back there
No.
anytime. And so we will never have that land.
not unless they ever get rid of the bike trail. That's the good thing about the bike trails. If somebody did come in and offer you a humongous amount for that 50 acres, you could always get rid of the bike trail. As soon as the grants usually require you have 5 or 10 years, something like that, there's minimal improvements made on a bike trail, just grading work mainly, and bridges.
The grant in question, I believe, stated that it would remain the bike trail for 25 years.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you could forfeit that grant money retroactively, I don't know.
But that hillside, that's, I mean, nobody, I mean, you saw, I mean, we got the quote to develop it residentially, and it was cost prohibitive. You can never, unless you're selling lots for $50,000 an acre. Industrially, it's gonna require so much grade work that it's never gonna be developed. But for a bike trail, that's ideal for mountain biking. I'm not a mountain biker, but I assume that's kind of what you want. I've seen it, stayed at Holiday Inn Express one time, but yeah, it's a lot of different gradients and things are what they want.
And I will say, I mean, if the trails in the area, that one would probably have the most topography to it. I mean, whether you go over to Scales Lake or Chandler or these other places, it would have ideal topography for a mountain bike trail.
Okay. Any other discussion? Does someone want to entertain a motion?
Hang on, I want to read this out real quick, because I think you guys are just reading half of it.
I think you're gonna have to recluse yourself.
No, I can read.
You can read them.
Yes, you
No,
can.
no,
Yes,
I'm
you
a
can.
recluse on
Okay,
the voting,
Okay.
but the town may reject all offers and may permit, it's kind of fuzzy here,
an offer or to raise the offer between June 9th, 2025 and until December 31st, 2025. So it says you may reject or permit. So this does say it was supposed to be done in December. I think you said it was only supposed to be where we can make them bid against each other till December.
Yeah.
That's not what this says.
It depends on how you
Yeah.
read
Secondly,
it.
all
Well, the
discussion-
sentence, the sentence before it was, the offers will be open June 9th, 2025, and the town may determine to sell the property to the highest and best offer at any time on or after such date. Then it's the deadline for allowing increases in bids was until December 31st.
May reject all offers or permit an offer.
Yeah.
Is in that line.
And, not says or, it says and. Comma,
Okay,
and.
or and.
The town may reject all offers, comma, and may permit an offerer to raise the offer between June and December 31st.
The most important part is to raise an offer.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think a lot of this discussion we just had should have been had before we decided to put the land up for sale. I mean, we spent 8 months dragging people around, putting them through the APC, accepting certain, making them change their terms, accepting it. For what?
I mean, the land was put up for sale, they took bids on it.
We all agreed to put it up for sale. We all agreed on what we'd like to see we get out of the land. It met the criteria. We knew about the bike trail way before then. And it still isn't even a done deal, is it? No. No, so the bike trail is still a hope dream, right?
Yeah, it's in the air still. Yeah, absolutely.
I know we have the, we can reject a bid. I know that's within our, right, but I think it needs to be, there needs to be a good reason, and I don't see one on this, but that's where I'm at with it.
Like I said, it was put up for bid. We accept, we opened the bids. I think there's, bids met all the criteria.
I do too.
Bid and offer.
I don't know.
Is somebody gonna make a motion to accept the offer or decline the offer?
I said it's the right thing to do is sell them, and whether we want to or not, or we want to save it for other things, so. I may catch hell for this, but I'm gonna make a motion that we sell the land to the highest bidder. It's the right thing to do. It's in the newspaper.
Second.
Okay, I have a first from Jason, a second from Mike. Any other discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Nay. So passes 3-1, and one abstain.
Yeah, I would like to make a comment in regard to this, to something Trish said that I agree with 99% of what she said. The town is landlocked in a way with people who won't sell land, you know, we're all the way around us. However, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was, I don't know, the land from Frosty's or whatever you want to, the lodge, going all the way back to Casper Drive, was put up on a
Auction.
bid situation, and it didn't bring anything like people thought it would. I think the average price per acre was less than $6,000 an acre. And so I'm not so sure how much demand there actually is when you can sell whatever number of acres that was, it's quite a bit.
There've been
And
many
only
people,
And 60 acres sold last week in the town.
Down there?
commercial. The old Chanley property, I think, sold, didn't it? Yeah.
This past week, I was talking about when it went.
Between Lori Cook's house and Kimball, that sold,
Oh, it did finally sell?
yeah,
They
Si-
bought all 60 acres?
56 acres, yeah.
That's good.
For the same price that other land is going?
I don't know what it sold for, but they were asking a pretty high price for it.
A real high price for it. Wow. Well, that's great. I know a lot of people have inquired about building on that Mr. Cook Road.
And that estate is not willing to sell it for anything,
That's affordable,
yeah.
I know. And I know that people want to buy lots in Holiday Village. And they can only buy them from individuals, not from, an entity, so.
Right.
Okay. So Kevin, will you get the paperwork
Yeah,
prepared?
I'll talk, I'll
the
touch base
deed.
with Dylan about
Okay.
closing on that
So we-
deal.
Zach, we.
And just to make sure it was recorded that he abstained, right?
Yes.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
Just want to make sure.
It was a 311.
Okay.
Okay, our,
Congratulations.
Russ, are you back up?
I'm still here.
Okay.
Hey, it's nice to see you. Are your feet sore yet?
I just have one dangling participle left, and that's wastewater. And we just blend that right into
It's a
my,
dangling purse.
that was horrible at
I
English.
understand what it means.
Yeah, I just remember that. I said we can blend wastewater into, my monthly report, which covers road, street, water, sewer, safety checks, et cetera. And I will just add one thing. Performance Pipelining did come back in and did their survey of Service Area 8, which is essentially the southwest corner of the village. So we are looking at the videos right now to see what needs to be lined in there. So once we determine that, I'll get that footage number back to the contractor, and they'll come in and start doing some more CIPP. That is all I have.
Russ, I'd like to add something. You can add a comment to me that I thought of earlier, forgot to bring up. A lot of people in the area are receiving some mail stuff through the mail, and they're talking about to me, it looks like an insurance product that I could buy, or a maintenance agreement that I could buy, and the town has nothing to do with that.
That's correct, and we briefly touched on this a couple of meetings ago. So they are just happening consecutively. So the town and the country as a whole is in the throes of doing this lead service line assessment. We are in compliance now, I think until 28 with that. But like I said, at the same time, these vendors have come out, and basically, like you said, they're offering an insurance program. Like I said, CenterPoint did it, well, when they were veteran, they would insure your water and sewer line and utilities from damage, et cetera. So, but yeah, the most recent one, I think Kevin sent me a copy of one he had recently.
It's like a home warranty. It's a
Yes.
warranty for
There
your
you
lateral.
go, there you go.
It's
Yeah,
like a home
home
warranty for
warranty.
your lateral line,
That's
is what it's
exactly what
for.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, my in-laws got one and asked me about it, and they said, why did the town send us this? And I looked at it, and I was, this isn't from the town, this is somebody trying to sell you a warranty product to repair your lateral if it ever gets damaged.
Capitalism at work.
Yeah,
So, okay, thanks.
Thank you all.
Okay, Kevin, you're up.
water. You need to open your public hearing on the water rate increase. It was published, and then Christine and Gingerville did get their notices. It was sent to them because they have, under the contract, they have to receive notice of the potential for the rate increase. So you need to open the public hearing on ordinance 2026-02 and ordinance amending section 110.04 of the municipal code of the town of Santa Claus concerning water rates and charges.
Can I entertain a motion for this from somebody?
You can just open it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open the meeting. We do have public here. Does anybody have any public input on this rate increase? not, can I make a motion to close the public hearing at this time?
Make a motion to close the public hearing on the water increase.
Second.
Okay, first from Trish and a second from,
We're talking about a 6% increase right now, right? That's what it is.
50 cents
Yes.
per thousand.
Just on the just on the usage. You can discuss that in a second. Close the public hearing first. Close the public hearing.
50 cents per thousand,
okay.
approximately.
So any other discussion on this? If not, we could call for a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Let it be known it passes 5-0.
Now you would need a motion to approve the second reading and adoption of ordinance 2026-02 and ordinance amending section 10.04 of the municipal code of the town of Santa Claus concerning water rates and charges.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-02 and an ordinance amending section 10.04 of the municipal code of the town of Santa Claus concerning water rates and charges.
Second.
Have a first from Jason, a second from Mike. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Let it be known it passes 5-0.
So before we move on, I want to go back to wastewater for a second. If this goes up 6% on water, the way we do the formula, I'm asking a question, I'm making a statement. Will the way this is right now, will the wastewater bills go up also?
No, not with this rate.
Not with this
It's
one.
based on,
This is just a pass-through
Yeah.
from Patoka.
yeah, it's based on gallons
And
used,
in
not,
fact, Scott, I think, mentioned that it's on the water only, it doesn't go through
Yes.
the fire hydrant surcharge or the customer service.
Okay.
yeah.
So it's just gonna affect the water.
I think I actually figured it up, and it was really like a 4.8% increase, because you're not increasing your service charges, you're not increasing fire protection, all that. It's just on the gallonage used of water, and it has nothing to do with your wastewater rates, because that's based upon if you use 1,000 gallons of water, it's based on the sewer rate for 1,000 gallons, so this doesn't affect that at all.
Okay, thank you.
Next, I have, and they're out of order here, but 2026-04, an ordinance adding chapter 1.98 to the municipal code of the town of Santa Claus, Indiana concerning claim payments in advance of the town council allowance. I'd sent this out by email to you all after your special meeting concerning the emergency pay provisions to make payroll with the 2 days that were shut down. State law does allow you to pre-authorize that kind of thing. I put in all the provisions from statute that you can allow, and then there's also a catch-all that the state put in, which I put 13, I put some blank lines in case you all come up with anything that you also would want Jane to be able to prepay. The only thing I changed from the statute as far as all of these items that you do allow advance payment prior to your claim of is, all it said in the statute was expenses that must be paid because of emergency circumstances. I added if an emergency is declared by the town council president, to have one person be the go-to person in the event of a snow emergency or something, for the town council president to be able to authorize Jane at that point, you're in an emergency situation, pay the bills or make payroll. I did add some procedural requirements. The first one is that it has to be supported by a fully itemized invoice. That's required by statute, so. Number 2, I came up with, the clerk treasurer shall notify the town council or other board having jurisdiction over the allowance of the claim with the intention to make the payments by electronic mail immediately upon her determination that such payment is required. So if she thinks an emergency arises to where she needs to make the payment, whether it be because of a late fee or something of that nature, prior to your meeting, she should notify you as soon as possible. If more than 2 of you say, no, we don't want you to pay that, she has to wait until you all actually consider the claim and decide to pay it. And then the last one is also required by statute that at your next meeting after that, you have to approve the claim if she makes an advance payment of it. So I don't know if you all wanted to delete any of those or add any new ones. This is the first reading, so we can do that between the first and second reading. after discussion, you all decide there should be additional things, and after Jane's input, Jane could say that there's,
Jane, do you have anything to say about the way this is written?
No, I reviewed it before the meeting, and I think it covers everything that would possibly come up and need to be paid in advance.
I like the way you've stated it. I think it's thorough.
The only thing I thought about adding was town president and vice president. If they were in agreement to do this, then it would happen. If we were not in agreement, then it would go to the town council.
Can that happen?
you mean for an emergency declaration?
Or can maybe the
Well,
vice
that-
president be in lieu of, but that would be normal anyway.
That's normal anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it just requires one of you, your executive is the person who's the day-to-day go-to person in a town, because you don't have a mayor. Obviously, if the president's unavailable due to, illness or whatever, then it would be up to the vice president. I think you all should be okay as long as your executive makes that call rather than the clerk treasurer, because that's your job, is to keep track of the claims. You can't say what happens if there's a deadlock, if they both have to declare it an emergency and one of them says,
No, one says yes.
one says yes, then you'd have to have a council meeting, which means it wasn't really an emergency.
Okay.
We agree on everything.
Yeah, I mean, then you can allow the claim at your meeting that you're gonna have to determine whether it's an emergency. So it kind of obviates the whole purpose of the ordinance is you can't have a meeting to approve the claim before Jane pays it.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-04, an ordinance adding chapter 1.98 to the municipal code of the town of Santa Claus, Indiana concerning claim payment in advance of the town council amount.
Second.
A first from Jason, a second from Trish. Any other discussion on this ordinance?
This is the first reading.
First reading.
Correct.
First reading, sorry.
Yes, if you come up with anything in the meantime, we can change it.
All right.
Do let me know before it goes for final.
Any
I don't
other
either.
discussion? If not,
I don't have it either.
call for a vote on this first reading of this ordinance. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let it be known, passes 5-0.
Finally, I have ordinance 2026-03, an ordinance readopting employee policy and procedural manual of the town of Santa Claus, Indiana. If you recall, last year, there were some discussions made as to changes that need to be made, changing the holidays,
Right, all that.
Changing-
You don't have a copy of that.
No, I don't have a copy of it.
Hmm?
I didn't
You
get a
don't have
copy of it.
that ordinance.
it's just readopt, all it says is you're
Oh,
readopting.
it's the readoption.
Yeah, all it says is you're adopting the employment manual, which is attached.
Okay.
Which I had emailed.
And I
you all.
did give you
I'm
copies of
sorry, I
that.
should,
We do have the manual.
yeah.
It's okay.
I should have, it's very simple, all it says is we're readopting the employment
Okay.
manual. It also changes the vacation days, PTO days, all to hours, to the equivalent of what days you had before to hours, which is for, ease of Jane keeping track of things. And then finally, it takes out the FEMLA and makes it simply unpaid medical leave. And then I also have had an acknowledgement form which will attach in the manual for when an employee is granted unpaid medical leave that they would need to sign, giving why they're asking, why they're asking for it, how long it's going to be, authorizes the town to obtain any medical records that they need to justify it, and states if their doctor says they can come back, then they better come back, or else they're terminated, and also if they don't come back when their term is up that they agreed to. And also that they have to exhaust all their paid leave before they start this unpaid leave,
Emergency.
all that good stuff. So anyway, it's just, that's going to be part of the manual. But Jane is still working on some other tweaks with the department heads, I believe. They've talked about combining, instead of having separate vacation, PTO, sick, maybe combining that just into one category, because they're kind of all commingled anyway, but that's up to them to give a recommendation on that. They may come back with some other.
We're not prepared to discuss it tonight, but
Yeah.
we have had department head meetings amongst all the department heads and are working on coming up with something to bring to the council to potentially fine tune some of the PTO time bank ideas, but we're still trying to work out what's gonna work best for all of our departments. So we're not
Yeah.
prepared to discuss that at this time, but we are currently working on fine tuning that area. But we would like you to go ahead and adopt the changes that you already approved. Some of the other changes that he didn't mention are things that you have approved in the past that were never changed in the handbook, like living within 10-mile radius, the per diem rate, the hotel rates, those things, we discussed all those at the meeting, but those were already pre-approved before me, but we're still
Not in the
Yeah.
manual.
not in the manual, so we
And they-
did
yeah.
update those things as well.
So
Yeah.
is this the first reading, and are we going to make allowance, or we're gonna do second reading in March?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So it is, yeah, it would be the first reading of 2026-03.
Okay. I make a motion to accept the ordinance 2026-03 concerning the readoption of the employee manual with changes.
Have a first from Trish and a second from Jason on the employee manual changes and adoption. This is the first reading of this.
First reading, yes.
Anybody else have any other discussion? If not, we can call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Let me know, and passes 5-0.
The only thing, I still have the open file on Clubhouse Road. Was that resolution delivered to the county for them to,
No, not yet.
okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
That was just open file still sitting on my desk, so I grabbed it.
So, did we vote on that resolution?
Yeah, back in February. Yeah. It's signed,
At our
sealed.
February meeting? Okay.
It was before that, I think.
No, we talked about it before that.
Oh, okay.
I think it was
Did we vote on
February.
it?
Yeah, February 9th. That's the draft I had that was dated February 9th.
Yeah, I don't think we voted.
Oh, wait.
No,
Maybe
we
you
put
didn't.
it off.
Oh.
February
Because of
9th is
holidays.
Oh, well, I guess you need to vote on it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't.
I'm sorry,
do it.
yeah.
I
Okay,
didn't do
then.
it because
Well, I've got one. I thought I still had the print copy
you've been
because Jane
giving it
actually.
to us. Yeah.
Okay, so I have for your consideration Resolution 2026-01, resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Santa Claus, Indiana concerning Clubhouse Road. This simply asks the Spencer County Commissioners to instruct all necessary county personnel to take measures to correct Spencer County GIS E9191 and other records to reflect everything being Clubhouse Road. And you're asking them to name it, officially rename any portions in their jurisdiction as Clubhouse Road. I'm sorry.
I make a motion to approve first reading.
No, this is a pass it. Yeah, this is a pass it. I'm sorry.
Pass.
Okay. Do we have a second? Second. Have a first from Mike and a second from Jason to approve the resolution 2026-01
Yes.
as written. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay.
Nay,
So we got 4-1.
but I
Sure.
will present it.
Okay. It's,
To the
And just the reason you're saying that is because they wanted to stay 1450,
That,
correct?
that was the discussion, but that is, yeah, that's why I made because of the discussion of 1450. And so I will present it.
okay. Guess we should add that added to the resolution. Yeah, I should vote for a second.
That's all I have now.
Yeah, it should have been.
Okay, nothing else from you, Kevin?
No, sir.
Okay, if we can move on to Jane.
Okay, the first thing I have up is I will be at the clerks conference March 8th through the 12th. Just giving you that knowledge. That does fall during the March Town Council meeting. So, I will not be present, so I will leave that up to you guys, whether you want to change your meeting date or whether you would be happy with my deputy, serving in my presence, so.
We would be happy with that, but, do we feel like it's more effective if, and not that your deputy is not effective, what word do I want to use? Standard for our clerk treasurer to be there.
It makes no difference to me. It's
You have no
whatever
problem
the
either
majority
way?
wants.
You? No?
I'm okay with the regular date.
Okay.
Okay.
You okay?
Okay, so
All
I'll
right.
be sending
Then we'll
Abigail.
keep it.
The other thing, I have a website update. The website is completed. It is not live yet. They will be doing training with the employees on March the 3rd and also on March 11th. So, once we all get knowledge of how everything's gonna work, and they teach us how to maneuver around and stuff. We will be, doing a live update and getting it going. So I think at first we will probably, get it live and kind of do a soft opening before really promoting people to check it out, just so we can make sure everything's running smoothly. But it is going to be going live very, very soon. So we're very excited about that.
Long time coming.
Big.
It is a long time
It's a
coming.
big deal.
It is a big deal,
It's gonna be a
and
big enhancement.
It would be a.
it will be a big enhancement, and we're hoping that that will allow us to add more community-minded services, for more online payments, more interactive forms, for people to be able to complete, you know, to make it convenient outside of their work hours, to be able to do these things at home and be able to email them back and stuff. We're gonna have to ease into those transitions, just so my staff can handle it, but we'll probably introduce one thing at a time and just keep moving forward and make things a lot more user-friendly and accessible for the community members.
Excellent.
So we're very excited about that.
Need people-friendly things, and that'll be a people-friendly.
It will be. Any questions on that, the website or anything?
Excited.
Nope. Okay. So, any miscellaneous? Yes?
Yeah, I did this to remind everybody, because I've been asked a bunch of times already, people not understanding that. This is a year for the town of Santa Claus to have a municipal election. There are only 2 offices up for election, and that 2 of the council members, the deadline is passed. There were 6 Republicans who signed up to run, so there will be a Republican primary on May 5th, Tuesday, May 5th, of which 2 of those, the 2 highest vote getters, will then be on the general election in November. Again, next year, a full year, the next set of council members and the town clerk will be up for election. There will be 3 open seats at that time, and the clerk treasurer. So, anybody asks you, that's what's doing. There will be a primary on May 5th. There are 6 people vying for 2 seats, and there were no Democrats that signed up.
Not this
So
time, correct.
there is still time after the primary that 2 Democrats could sign up and any number of independents. That date's in the end of June,
June.
1st of July sometime, I'm not sure what it is.
Somewhere in June.
But right now, as it stands, there are 6 Republican candidates for 2 seats, no
And that's it.
Democrats or independents. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mike, for the update.
Okay.
Dane, you're still up.
Any other miscellaneous? No? Okay, I'll move on to vouchers. I have general vouchers in the amount of $262,785.06.
Make a motion to approve the general voucher in the amount of $262,785.06.
Second.
I have a first from Jason, a second from Mike, to approve the general voucher in the amount of $262,785.06. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let me know, it passes 5-0.
I have wastewater vouchers in the amount of $73,914.42.
Make a motion to approve the wastewater voucher in the amount of $73,914.42.
Second.
I have a first from Jason, a second from Brian, to approve the wastewater voucher in the amount of $73,914.42. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let it be known, it passes 5-0.
I have payroll vouchers in the amount of $159,010.89.
Make a motion to approve the payroll voucher in the amount of $159,010.89.
Second.
I have a first from Jason and a second from Trish for the payroll voucher in the amount of $159,10.89. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Let it be known, passes 5-0. That's all we have
Big stack
on the
with-
agenda for tonight. We're gonna keep the meeting open until we sign all the vouchers.
Those are ones that Pat Moore had.
I'm surprised these guys from the press even bother coming anymore since everything's on YouTube. It seems like they'd want to get up in the morning and look at it. You know, I wouldn't want to take an evening out. Since everything's
Pick it up
mandated to be
anytime.
Okay, thank you. Well, Thursday.
YouTube.
Because we have coffee.
Oh, I should have announced that.
Yes. You still can, but make it happen.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So just
I
an
read this bitch- I
announcement,
read this
while
bitch
they
coming online,
are
but
signing,
actually open the newspaper.
all the
You know, it was funny
documents, we are
because we're
having our
moving right
coffee
now.
hour this coming Thursday from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And we welcome all of the public to join us in some fun and fellowship.
I used to get the Evansville Courier. There was a big stack of them still in my office that I just kept there. Cindy asked me a couple times, should I get rid of these? I was like, no, because I need them to I take a stack of them down to the cabin occasionally for fire starting. Well, then we got ready to move and I was like, crap. Oh, I said, I got a bunch of newspapers up at the office to wrap our glasses, wine glasses and stuff. They were dated 2020 and 2021. That's how long it's been since I had a newspaper.
Thanks for coming, you guys.
Probably tomorrow.
Yeah, send it over.
You have a night off?
We do, there's one, down at the warehouse where the drop off there. So, what time you go in, 6?
Are you moving offices?
No, my house. We bought a new house.
There's a night box.
Moved over to Johannes's neighborhood, kinda.
Sorry, what?
I told him we moved. We're moving over on Evergreen Plaza.
Oh, no, your house.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I thought it was somebody saying.
Nope. Y'all missed, everybody missed it, I think.
I can't believe we lost that into the.
Yep, everybody missed it.
Yeah.
It was clipped. Oh, this one shouldn't have been signed.
Hey,
This was just the
Mr.
first reading.
Scott,
See ya.
Oh, sorry.
This was
Just-
first reading.
Just
Send this one back
shred
down?
it.
Yeah, send that back down, because y'all missed one.
Let's send this back to the beginning.
What
and-
happened, miss?
And nobody signed it, so.
Wow.
I'm gonna
Just
put this,
Brian Warren, he got it.
Oh,
He found it.
he found it.
He did, he did a good
Is
job.
that attached?
Kevin found it.
Was it hiding, Brian? Did you
it was
find
Kevin,
clipped
did
to
you
the back
pull-
of, it was clipped to
did-
the back of one that you all signed that you weren't supposed to sign, actually, because you had it on the first reading, and you just signed it.
Press, I appreciate your PSA.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I thought you appreciated my thanks.
The dangling participle made me smile. I appreciated that wherever it was at. Anyway.
3 sets of vouchers, right?
You know what,
Motion to
though?
adjourn.
I made
important.
these in science.
You all can sign these.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. First and second to adjourn, by Jason and Brian.
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let me know, passes 5-0.